facilitator for our Pillars for Success running on the Blue Wave Supplier Diversity Development Program. And we're going to talk to you today about Pillars for Success. And so we'll go to the next slide. This program is near and dear to us because this is our second cohort. The first cohort graduated in February of 2024, and we are getting ready and gearing up for our 2025 cohort, our second cohort. So this information session is to give you a better idea about the program, about Blue Wave Supplier Development Program, so that you understand truly what this program is about, and you can make the assessment of whether or not this is where you want to be. Also, if you know anyone who you may think might be a good candidate for this program, please share the information with them so that they can go ahead and apply for the program as well. We do encourage, we know that a lot of folks have friends who are business owners. So if you want to do this program along with your friend that owns a separate business, then definitely invite them and you all can go through this together. And so next slide. Just to give you an agenda of what we're going to go over today, we're going to do some introductions of myself and Eduardo. Those will be very quick, and then we're going to go over the program and kind of let you know what is the ideal candidate for this program, and then also let you know more information about Blue Wave and what this program really entails. I'm telling you right now, the folks that we graduated in February 2024, some of them have already, while we were in the program, they got contracts, right? So the ultimate goal of this program is for you to really look at your business, because you're going to do some assessments, look at your business and say, okay, this is how I need to grow. This is how I need to scale. These are the areas where I need to improve, and make sure that you have all the different documentations and policies and plans put forth, because we want you to grow into, we want you to get past the subcontracting, and we want you into the prime level, right? And so when we grow and when we scale, there's some pain points that might come that's involved with it. And so we want you to make sure that you are willing to go through that work so that you can come out on the other end and be primes. And that's our ultimate goal for our office. So a little bit about the Office of Business Opportunity. If you haven't heard about us, we are located downtown at 611 Walker, catty-cornered from the City Hall. And our office has 4 facets. We have an OBO Solution Center for those people who have questions, want to get connected to resources. We also the certifying body for the City of Houston, and our certification is the most widely used certification that we have here in the City of Houston. And keep in mind that the only other agency that out-certifies companies is the state of Texas, right? So after the state of Texas, we're number 2 in getting folks certified. And we have about 6 certifications that we can get you so that you can work in the private sector as well as the public sector. And a lot of your local government agencies accept our certification. So there's reciprocity in being certified with us. We also have a contracts compliance division. So anytime our certified firms are working on City of Houston contracts, you have that advocate for you, ensuring that everything is following in compliance, how that contract is supposed to go. And then we have business development programming, where we are at right now, and making sure that you have the resources to not only connect, but to grow and to be educated about your business, educated about the different opportunities that are available, not just with us, with the City of Houston as an agency, but in Houston and the surrounding areas. And so we stand as that advocate for small businesses, making sure that you have those opportunities to connect, to educate, and to grow your business, whether you're just starting off all the way to where we are now, where you're like, I'm ready to take my business to the next level. How do I do it? And the best thing about our office is that all of our resources, every single thing that we provide, is at no financial cost to our business owners. So it is definitely a win situation. And so we are happy to always provide that, and even provide guidance in helping you to make those decisions. So welcome to the Office of Business Opportunity, and welcome to this information session to learn more about Pillars for Success, a great program that's running on the Blue Wave Supplier Development Program. And so this program, again, is our second cohort. We will start in January of 2025. And you can see here it's designed for our small businesses, small and mid-sized businesses. So are you willing and ready to expand into new markets? Are you thinking about possibly going global? Are you thinking, in order for me to get to where I want to be, I got to make sure I have some more staff, right? We don't want you working in your business. We want you working on your business. So if that's where you are finding yourself at, like, yes, I want to be able to work on my business because I have the right folks to run it for me, or I need the right folks to run it for me so that I can be working on the business, then definitely you want to consider this program because we have that information for you. And this program, we're going to run it from January and we will graduate in June. So it's a 6-month commitment. We're not going to meet every day. We're not going to meet every week, about every other week, but it is definitely a commitment. You will have some homework because if you're talking about growing, this is definitely something you want to be a part of, and we are here to help you with that. And so I'm going to turn it over to Eduardo to tell you a little bit more about Blue Wave and his company, and we'll dive into the program.
Wonderful, Dr. Jackson. Thank you so much. And I will use this page to introduce Blue Wave. Before doing that, just a few words about myself. Eduardo Núñez, at your service. My pleasure to be talking to all of you. I have a 42-year experience with corporate America, 12 years with IBM, and 30 with ExxonMobil. In the last 10 years of my 30 years career with ExxonMobil, I was the head of global procurement. And after retirement in 2018, 1 year after, in 2019, I co-founded with my business partner, Alma del Toro, Blue Wave. And our mission, the mission is to help you, business owners of small and medium-sized companies, diverse or not, to understand the international standards required by large corporations and large government entities. And then we prepare you to comply with those standards and be, as we say, corporate ready. Be ready to play, as Dr. Jackson explained, in prime time, to compete for larger and higher added value business opportunities, and not being a sub, but being a prime contractor. And there are here a few metrics that illustrate the impact and the practicality and the success of the program. In 5 years of existence, we have graduated 700 small and medium-sized businesses in the USA, in Mexico, and Suriname, the Dutch Guyana. And the graduates, to graduate is not graduation by attendance, is graduation by reaching milestones. And the key milestone is all of you will have to reach 80% compliance or more with the international standards across 7 areas. And we will be with you all the way to ensure that you cross the finish line with flying colors. And typically between 60 to 80% of the participants graduate. In the specific case of the city of Houston, in the last cohort, we graduated 100% of the participants, which means if you want to cross the finish line, if you want to graduate through our support and consulting incorporated into the program, you will be able to graduate. Our mantra is very inspirational, changing the world one supplier at a time. And this is the page that we have put together to describe the ideal candidate. Portia, would you like to take the lead in this page?
Absolutely. So here's our ideal candidate. And so when you see the word ideal, what that means is the ideal, right? Not that you have to meet all of these qualifications to be in the program. So I'm going to go over pretty much all of them. But just to let you know, number one, we will definitely be flexible on, right? The business must have revenue over 350,000. So ideally, we would want you to have 350 or more revenue. But if you don't, we will be flexible. Now, when I say flexible, that means somewhere near that, right? So if you have annual revenue of 50,000, this is probably 50,000, 350,000 is not close, right? So this will probably not be the program for you. But when we say flexible, somewhere near you meeting most of the qualifications, you're close to all of what we have here, but just know that. So number one, we are flexible on that 350. If you have any further questions, you can always reach out to me and I can explain and we can talk about whether if you're there, because we know different industries have different standards. And so, but just know that we are flexible on number one. Number two, we are also flexible. If you are not certified as a City of Houston supplier, that's okay. Do you want to be certified? We can definitely help you with that. If you have some certifications from some other agencies, as far as being like minority, woman-owned, veteran-owned, then we are definitely flexible and we embrace you there. Number three, having a willingness to learn. We're not flexible on that. If you are not open and if you are not open to learning and ready to learn new things, this is not the program for you. The next one, number four, you must be willing to grow and conduct business with larger and higher added value business. Means we're here to help you. The whole purpose of this program is to help you to grow and to scale. So if you are not willing to grow, this is not the program for you. There's other programs that I can recommend if you want to just kind of keep your business where it's at. But if you are willing to grow and you're ready to hit the ground running and you have bigger goals in mind, definitely this may be the program for you. Number five, business owner should attend the program. This is a must. You must attend the program. As Eduardo say, we will work with you. We understand that there are things that come up. We have 100% graduation rate. So we are flexible in that, and flexible in your schedule, but you must attend those programs, right? Attend all workshops, same thing. You got to get the information to grow. So we're not flexible on that, but we will be flexible in helping you to attend those workshops. 7, complete all assessments in a timely manner. That's a must. And number 8, customize and upload documents with key policies and practices. Yes, that is a must. So we need for you to really fully participate, because all of those go into you wanting to grow your business and you wanting to invest in yourself to learn those new capabilities. So that is our ideal candidate. I've explained to you the ones that are flexible on. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. This is not cracking the whip or anything like that, but we just want to make sure that it's clear so that you can make the right decision that's best for you.
Wonderful, excellent. And in this page, we describe the process that we'll follow during the program. The first phase is called the self-assessment phase. As in any transformational project, the starting point is understanding the as-is, the current situation. And that is achieved through a self-assessment. We'll provide you credentials to access the Blue Wave engine that runs in the Amazon cloud, and you will be prompted to answer 150 questions across 7 pillars. The 7 pillars are illustrated by the 7 cylinders that you see in the lower left corner of the screen. Reading those 7 cylinders, HSC, which is safety, the acronym stands for Health, Safety, Security, and Environmental. The second pillar is cybersecurity, and these first two, safety and cybersecurity, are considered to be by the industry at large as the licenses to operate. This is a yes or no, is pass or no pass type of compliance. The following pillars are quality, corporate policies that describe the culture and values of your corporation, technical capabilities, financials, and ESG, which stands for environmental, social, and governance. This is the 21st century area of sustainability. Then, as I said, in the first phase, the self-assessment, you respond 150 questions across the 7 pillars, and the system will return key outcomes, typically a list of gaps organized by pillar and in priority order, and the system will automatically provide the action plans to close the gaps, the mitigation plans, plus management reports in the form of dashboards. And that is the first phase. How long does it take? It's typically 1 hour. Then the left side of the chart is 1 hour of work, very well structured, self-assessments based on an engine that runs in the Amazon cloud and driven by international standards. Now we move to the right-hand side of the chart, which is the development phase. We will help you to reach compliance with those standards through executive education. This is not technical education for your experts in safety, cybersecurity, quality, or finance. This is for the business owner, for the executive, for you to understand what you need to deploy in your company, which management systems you need to deploy in your company to be in compliance with those international standards. The education is provided through 10 workshops, one orientation workshop, which is face-to-face, and will be conducted in January, as indicated by Dr. Jackson. The other workshops, there are 9 workshops, one for HSSE, one for cyber, quality, corporate policies, financials, 2 for technical capabilities, 1 for ESG, and 1 for an energy industry overview. All those other 9 workshops are conducted virtually via Zoom. Then you can take those workshops from, if you're in a business trip, from the comfort of your hotel room. And those workshops are conducted with the pace of 2 workshops per month. Each workshop is 3 hours, and you must attend every single workshop. In every workshop, we will provide the key concepts in and around the international standards in every topic. And additionally, if you focus your eyes in the words in gray at the bottom of the vertical rectangle development workshops, we will provide you document templates that contain, and now we go through those words, the policies, the processes, the best practices, and the tools that you need to implement and deploy in your company to comply with those international standards. We provide all those documents, and you are free to customize them to reflect your business context, and they become the core, the essence of the new management systems. After those 2 activities, taking the workshops and customizing the documents, we ask you to perform a second self-assessment at the end of the program, after the learning process, to demonstrate the increased level of compliance. Talking about level of compliance, at the outset, at the beginning, after the first self-assessment, typically a small or medium-sized business has a level of compliance of 20 to 30%. At the end of the program, after the training, after documenting, after customizing the document templates and performing the second assessment, you will reach most likely an 80% level of compliance. If you are not quite there, it doesn't matter. We'll work with you in one-on-one consulting sessions to ensure that you reach that level of compliance. If you get there, you will graduate from this program, as we said, between 60 and 80% on average of all the participants in the program graduate from the Blue Wave program. In the last and the first inaugural cohort with City of Houston and the Houston Airport system, we graduated 100% of our participants, really a blessing for our generous sponsor, the city and the Houston Airport system, for all the participants, and for the marketplace at large, because we will prepare you to compete for businesses across any industry with the City of Houston and at large in the marketplace. That's basically how the process works. And this is an additional level of detail of how the self-assessments are structured. They're structured following the same structure of the international standards. I will just focus on illustrating some of the standards that you will be learning and complying with. In the area of safety, the OMS, Operating Management Standard, used by the oil and gas industry. We use that standard because it's the most demanding one. If you are prepared to comply with safety standards in oil and gas, you will be ready from the safety perspective for any other industry, logistics, constructions, hospitality, etc. In cybersecurity, we follow the NIST 1.1 standard produced by the US government. In the area of quality, we follow the ISO 9001 standard. For corporate policies, we follow two elements of legislation: the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, or anti-bribery legislation of the US, and the UN Declaration of Human Rights, plus the corporate policies of the top 10, top 15 corporations of America. In technical capabilities, we follow requirements of category management across those categories illustrated in the chart. In finance, we follow the generally accepted accounting principles, and ESG is based on three main standards: the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the IPCA standards, and the World Bank standards. As said before, in total, we'll be asking you to comply with 150 expectations or best practices, and this is the short self-assessment. This is what is required to graduate. After graduation, for 6 months after graduation, you will continue having access to the Blue Whale platform, and you can expand and go into the full suite of standards and go up to 650 questions. And this is a pictorial depiction of how the program is deployed. We are in the engagement phase in these info sessions. As mentioned before, the program will start in January. We'll have a couple of workshops per month. For example, in February, HSSE or safety and cybersecurity, and then 2 more workshops the following months, and so on and so forth. At the end of the series, we'll give you 1 month of contingency time for closing gaps that may be pending because of your competing business priorities, and we'll crown all these with a graduation in which each graduate will come to the front of the session to receive an award and be presented with a certificate. And this provides a little bit of more detail about the agendas of the workshops. The workshops are very educational. These are not presentations. This is business education. And some of the workshops will be available online on demand. For example, cybersecurity and corporate policies and technical capabilities 1. In that case, you will have like a 2-hour online on-demand education. Nevertheless, we'll be complementing that with a 1-hour Zoom session to answer any questions you may have. All the other workshops will be subject of 3 hours via Zoom. And really, the benefits of this program are for all the stakeholders, and for the city of Houston because of the impact on the community, and further developing their supply chain. For all the participants, because you will end up the program corporate ready, which means ready to compete for larger business opportunities with corporations and with government entities. Then you will be ready to play in first division, if you will, ready for prime time. And this is good for the economy at large because we are expanding the tax base. And then this is a win-win-win-win situation, if you will. And this is the preliminary schedule that we have discussed with Dr. Jackson. As she said, we are kicking off the program, the advertising, the communication, the information sessions now in September. We are on September the 4th. The first information session will, if you are listening to this video, or if you have colleagues that may be interested, the next info session will be on October the 2nd from 6 to 7 p.m. and November the 6th from 5 to 6 p.m. through the same mechanism, virtual Zoom sessions. It's very, very important. An event conducted by City of Houston is called Meet the Buyer, and I will pass the mic to Dr. Jackson to describe the event, because it's important that you take advantage of both things, the Meet the Buyer event and this workshop in particular.
Absolutely. So at Meet the Buyer, it's our annual the biggest event that we do throughout the year, our office does, and it's an annual event that we do in December. And what we do at Meet the Buyer is we bring together all of the major buying departments with the city of Houston. They're there to meet with you, to discuss what's coming up so that you can be prepared for those solicitations, whether it's informal bids, formal bids, or any type of RFPs that are available. We'll also have prime contractors there looking for subcontractors, as well as business support agencies and other local government agencies who are looking for prime and subcontractors. We'll also have various different workshops that are happening throughout that day. It's held at the George R. Brown. Just to kind of give you a quick idea, last year we had Amazon there. We had a transportation panel to show you how to pivot and to add, right? Because with your business, you should be having different types of waves, different streams of income coming in, and how you can use your current vehicles for your company to do transportation. So it's a lot of different things that were going on, and we continue that to make sure you have everything you need to start that next year off right. And so this year we're going to be featuring the Blue Wave Supplier Development Program Boot Camp. So what we're doing is getting you ready for this program next year. So you want to make sure that when that registration opens on our website, that you get registered to attend Meet the Buyer, because everything will be there at your fingertips and you don't want to miss it. So that's how we're going to start it off. So you'll come to Meet the Buyer, you have your information sessions, you can assess then, okay, yes, I want to be a part of the program. Make sure that if you are interested in this program, the deadline to apply for the program will be December 31st. And then in January, we will see you for an interview just to kind of get to know you better and to make sure that you fully understand what this program is about. But we want to make sure that you have all your information, so that boot camp will help you to get you ready. And also with Meet the Buyer, you have all the information there. So you're like, okay, now I know when I get ready to start this Blue Wave program for Pillars for Success, then here's my goal in mind. I've made those connections. How do I make all of this work together for me? So that's why it's important that you mark your calendars for December 5th.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent. And going to the following line, I will not cover all the lines, but just give you a perspective. After the Meet the Buyer event, remember December 5th, 2024, then the registration will close at the end of December. In January, end of January, January 29th, we'll conduct the orientation workshop. As mentioned before, that event is face-to-face from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. after your business hours. And then we'll transform the group into a team just by working together, giving you a perspective of the overall program. After that, we'll give you your credentials to access the Blue Wave technology, the Blue Wave platform in the cloud, and guide you to perform the first self-assessment. After that, we'll go through the second phase, the development phase, the educational workshops. As said before, we are going to have 2 workshops per month, every other week. As you can see, in February, HSSE or safety and cybersecurity. In March, we'll have quality and corporate policies. In April, we'll have financials and technical capabilities 1. This is focused on teaching you a methodology to develop business strategies and marketing plans. And in May, technical capabilities 2 and ESG or sustainability. Just to clarify, technical capabilities 2 is about project management and change management. And we'll close in June, providing an overview of the energy sector, given that Houston is so heavy in energy, just to prepare you to compete in that marketplace professionally. In June also will be the last day for completing the second self-assessments and closing the gaps and reaching the level of compliance of 80% mentioned before, and the graduation event, which is a very, very important social and networking event for all the graduates, will be conducted right after, in a date to be defined, but most likely July, August, latest September timeframe. Extremely, extremely important. And I pass the mic back to
Okay.
Dr. Jackson for the closing.
So yes, so definitely if you're interested in this program, go ahead and scan that QR code, or you can visit the website that you see directly below it. So you can go ahead and apply. We will be reaching out to everyone once you apply. Like I said, we will do interviews to get to know you better. If you apply early, you don't have to wait until January for us to talk to you. We'll probably conduct some of those interviews probably around October, November to get you in and make sure that you're ready for it. So the earlier you apply, the more you're going to really make it come together for you. So then you'll definitely be ready for December 5th when we do that boot camp. But again, if you know anybody who else might be qualified for this program, be interested in this program, please share that information with them and have them to apply as well. We will have this information session on our website. So if you need to spread the information, tell them to go to our website, which is houstontx.gov, and they'll be able to get this information session and listen to it for themselves and as well as apply. So we want to just thank you all for your attentiveness. Thank you for even being interested in the program, and we hope that you find that you have a good fit here. If you have any questions to say, I just want to talk it through, is this the right fit for me? Again, you can definitely reach out to me and I'll be happy to answer those questions. Just keep in mind, December 31st is the deadline to apply. We will begin the program next year, which is really right around the corner, January 29th. 2025. Again, the program will run January through June, and it's meeting every other week. So we just want to make sure that you have those dates, and you can, like I said, this will be online. You will have those dates and make sure that you can attend those courses. Keep in mind, only the first session and the last session are in person. All the other sessions are done virtually. So at this time, again, if you have any questions, please reach out. But that concludes our information session. And so we will move on to any questions that folks who are on the line have, and we'll be happy to address those.